Digital currencies are giving up yesterday's gains and then some as the FTX sell-off rages on. Today, Genesis halts withdrawals from its lending platform. Kyle Davies of Three Arrows Capital blames the collapse of the crypto hedge fund on Sam Bankman-Fried.
Cryptocurrency lender BlockFi has filed for bankruptcy. It comes just weeks after the collapse of FTX, one of the world's largest cryptocurrency exchanges. In its court filing, BlockFi listed FTX as its second largest creditor.
Many investors have already taken legal action against even the celebrities involved in the ads, the marketing for FTX. Have you taken any legal action yet? Are you planning to?
My legal team is already working on finding what's the best legal way, but, the legal route is very slow.
The cryptocurrency market has been on a roller coaster ride the last month, going down and down due to the FTX crisis. The price of Bitcoin has fallen sharply in recent days to less than $17,000 from more than $20,000 at the start of last month. Ethereum is also stuck in a downtrend, having dipped below $1,200 US. Can this roller coaster ride get to the top again? In this video, we'll take a look at the problems that FTX is facing and has caused for crypto space and the people involved in it. In his interview with CoinDesk, Kevin O'Leary talks about his meeting with Sam. He believes FTX fallout will not kill crypto, but the contagion and run-on effects will come out and are yet to be seen.
I think what we need now is to flush out the auxiliary collapses that are going to occur because of accounts that, let's say, public mining companies had with FTX or other hedge funds that have obviously over the weekend gone to zero in their accounts. Now, first, I have some disclosures here, okay? Number one, I'm a paid spokesperson of FTX. So I've been dealing with their management. I've spoken to Sam last week on Thursday. I also have corporate accounts in FTX. I'm also a shareholder of FTX International and FTX US. So now we got that out of the way. I just want to make sure I'm being very transparent on this. But we're not finished with the collateral damage. And so to your question, this is a bottoming process. An event like this is very important because it's finally going to have several impacts in areas that we need. It's going to accelerate regulation, number one. As we speak, I'm at the governor's conference in Orlando. This is topic number one in financial services. The amount of discussion going on last night and certainly today about this situation is going to move. It's definitely going to move legislation in the House. There's no question about that. This is a defining moment. But what we don't know is how many other dominoes are going to fall yet. We need that.
The ongoing crypto crash caused by the FTX bankruptcy is just not the end. There are still many more bankruptcies waiting ahead. Even Kevin pointed out that many other dominoes are going to fall. The question now arises, with all of this, what's going to happen to the crypto space? Can Bitcoin drop below 16K? The future of many crypto lenders, hedge funds, and investors are at stake. It's no secret that FTX has been facing serious liquidity issues. Now, it seems like the liquidity issues at FTX are starting to cause some bigger problems. The troubled crypto firm BlockFi has filed for bankruptcy in the US. The company had already halted most activity on its platform, citing significant exposure to FTX. The company estimates that it has more than 100,000 creditors on the books and owes more than $1 billion to three of the biggest. Bankrupt crypto lender Voyager was forced to find a replacement buyer for its assets after concluding FTX wouldn't close a planned $1.4 billion deal to buy the company. The sudden failure this month of FTX, valued at $32 billion this year, shocked investors who backed it and traders who used it. Hedge funds left with billions stranded on FTX. Hedge fund Wealth Capital had half its assets trapped on FTX. Creditors and investors are confused the most, as no one really knows what's going to happen to their investments. Some of the FTX investors have said that they're writing their investment down to zero. Now, Kevin O'Leary is himself a creditor for FTX. He was a brand ambassador for FTX. He also promoted FTX. Let's get into the next clip to hear his thoughts.
The only conversation I've had is with my lawyers and my auditors, as every institution's had those conversations over the weekend. We are going to go through a bankruptcy process. There is precedent for this. You can go back and look at Mount Ott. It took 4.5 years. And because that was also multinational. So you've got the shares, my shares in FTX International, my shares in FTX US. Well, we're going to have to write those down to zero, most likely. And that happens, This is not my first It's not my first bad investment. It won't be my last, but luckily I make more good ones than bad ones. And so that's the way I look at it.
Kevin has also considered his investment with FTX to be a bad call and has written his investment down to zero. But he doesn't stop his faith in crypto just because of this one bad investment. He believes that this event has brought the spotlight to regulation, which is very much required in this space now. Let's hear what else he has to say regarding FTX and crypto. But before jumping ahead in the video, don't forget to like and subscribe.
On Wednesday, the whole world knew that there was a liquidity issue at FTX and that the hold on the balance sheet was somewhere between $6 and $8 billion. Now, I work in the indexing market for sovereign wealth and pension, and so we were getting a lot of inbound requests about information about the situation, because that's the kind of money that an institution or a sovereign wealth fund can put to work if they thought there was an interesting opportunity. And in financial services, illiquidity events or liquidity events like this can be interesting investment opportunities if you think it's a legitimate investment and it's not going to issues with the regulator. So the timeline of that conversation is I put a message into FTX. I wanted to confirm the amount being requested. Was it going to be 6 or 8? Sam called me back. Very, standard conversation. He was, rational, and we had that conversation about confirming what the amount was going to be. The amount was $8 billion. That's what they were looking for. So I went back to these various entities that were asking me about it. And by that time, the SEC chair was on the air around the world. I think the network was CNBC. And he made it clear that they were going to come down hard on this situation. So the minute that occurred, that was the end of any sovereign wealth fund's interest, because they index in the S&P 500. They have to be compliant with the SEC. And so, if you're a sovereign wealth fund making $250 million a day, the only market you can put it into to park it is the S&P. It's liquid enough to absorb that. So they don't make moves against U.S. regulators. In Canada, you can't lend clients' accounts out to other entities. That is not permitted. You can't leverage them. You can't commingle them. That's the whole purpose of having a centralized wallet, is that if you have to be compliant, you need reporting, and you have to market every 12-hour cycle, you can do that. Now, unfortunately, that is not what happened at FTX, even though the platform was robust enough to provide the reporting, but it was at the same time allowing for transfer and commingling of funds.
If there's one issue that should be at the top of the list right now, it's the accelerating pace of regulation. The FTX crisis was, of course, a big trigger for this. He believes these events could put regulation back in the spotlight. Alright, so it's still unclear what exactly is going to happen next, but one thing is for sure, the crypto space is in trouble. Does this call for regulation in the crypto sector? Can BTC pump to 20K again? How bad can this crypto winter get? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. For more videos like this, be sure to subscribe, like, and share. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Adios!